makes it again. Jon Elmore carrying Marshall in March.
He is so good at getting his feet down. It's in his offensive game. Jon Elmore is tremendous.
Thought a shot blocker was coming from behind. Why take a two when you can give it to Jon Elmore for three and the lead?
And welcome to another edition of the Section 111 podcast. I'm your host, TJ Shoemaker, and I've got a very special guest with me here today. I'm joined by Conference USA's all-time leader in points and assists, and also three-point makes, former Marshall guard Jon Elmore. Jon, how you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that we could set this up and get you on the pod.
Yeah, man. Definitely glad to be on here.
Well, Jon, first I wanted to ask you, about your Marshall career, and a little bit deeper than that, I wanted to ask you about your favorite memories and some of the things that you hold dear to you during your time at Marshall.
Favorite moment, two of them. Well, three. Tori, my fiance, will probably listen, so I got to throw our engagement in there.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to go that route. If not, I was going to throw you under the bus.
So let me get that out of the way. Getting engaged on senior night was definitely number one because she'll probably listen, and I don't want any problems. Things are good.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other two, I'd say winning the conference tournament against Western, beating them by 1 point, coming down to the wire, winning the championship my junior year, and then beating Wichita in the first round of the tournament. I think those two, in my memory, are just they're right there side by side, that 1A and 1B. Those two are probably by far my favorite memories while wearing the Marshall jersey.
For sure, those are two that really stick out in my mind as well. You mentioned that championship game against Western Kentucky, and I was watching that on TV, and I swear my heart rate was through the roof that entire game. That was such a back and forth game. And obviously, I'm glad that you guys pulled that one out because that was a much needed win, and to even make the tournament, which Marshall hadn't done in a long time. So you guys beat Western and made history. So that's one game Herd fans will never forget.
For sure. Oh man.
But then you also mentioned the game against Wichita. My dad actually flew out to that game, so he got to see that one in person. I had to stay back and work, but I watched it like on my lunch break. I took like a 3-hour lunch break that day, so just so I could watch you guys. just wanted you to know that.
Yeah, I watched the rerun the other day. Staying in quarantine, you get a little bored here and there, and I found the rerun online and watched the game. So I still get chills watching it and thinking about it. Just what we did for the school, Coach D'Antoni giving us the freedom and really instilling confidence in us to go play, and he believed in us from the start, and what that team was able to accomplish, man, it was a dream come true.
Yeah, and when Marshall got the bid to play Wichita, you kind of felt like that was a game that Marshall could really go in and win. How confident were you going into that game, and what was the demeanor like of the team going into that game?
We were really unsure at the time who we were going to draw. I guess you really never know, but sitting there on Selection Sunday was a dream come true because every kid watches Selection Sunday at the house with their family or friends. So
for sure, yeah.
With the team having the party in the Henderson Center, having the couple thousand fans there. When we got Wichita, I study basketball. I was kind of familiar with their roster and how they had been doing it during the year. And I was excited. They had a good guard, they had good bigs, a couple solid wings. So, but we felt like it was a good matchup for us. They weren't overly big, and we weren't overly big, but we were excited from the jump. We had a great game plan going in, and I thought we executed well and made plays. And it was just a great overall team win, and everybody really came together to fight. And, it was an exciting ride.
It definitely was, and like you said, it was a team win, and it kind of felt like everybody that game was really firing on all cylinders. You, CJ, Pinova, Jared, you guys were all doing your part and really complimented each other well to seal that victory. And you didn't just get a win. You guys made history. So
crazy.
what were some of your more down moments at Marshall? You know, this may be something that a lot of fans and people don't really know. You know, it's easy to think about the good times, but what were some of your lowest of lows while you were at Marshall?
I'd say in my senior year, you know, we won the tournament game. We had a lot coming back. We had high expectations to do it all over again and try to do better. And then we got into conference play after kind of having an up and down non-conference season. We get into conference play towards the middle of the season, and I think we lost like 5 in a row or 5 out of 6 conference games.
Yeah, I remember that.
We hit a stretch where I think we played like 3 or 4, maybe 4. I think 4 straight road games, something crazy. And I think that was probably the worst I had played in my Marshall career. I remember we played Southern Miss or La Tech, one or the other, in a row, and got absolutely demolished. And then
I think the Southern Miss game was the rough one.
Real rough
one.
We had a film session. It was early in the morning because we were getting ready to travel. We had a film session. I get down to film early, and I'm just sitting in the corner, like waiting for everybody to get in there, and I fall asleep. I mean, out of nowhere, I'm on the ground snoring. Apparently, Coach D'Antoni's hollering at me to like wake up. We got to start film, and I mean I was so exhausted and frustrated, and it had all built up, and I mean, really messed with my mental, man. Like I was in a bad place. I mean, I had lost confidence. My body was exhausted. Mentally, I was shot. So after that streak, things got a lot better, and we ended up winning some games and got hot and won the CIT, which was a great experience as well. But I mean, I hit a stretch in my senior year where, I mean, I was questioning everything, whether shots were going to go in. Couldn't sleep at night, just overthinking everything. So we ended up getting a break. I think we had like 5 days off. I slept in till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, like 4 days in a row without setting an alarm, and really just kind of reset. So I'd say, yeah, that by far, that little stretch in my senior year was probably the lowest moment in my career.
For sure, I can see that. Looking back on it, what would you say you miss most about playing basketball for Marshall?
Oh, a lot. I'd say one, playing for Coach D'Antoni. Just once I left that system and left playing for him and that coaching staff, I look back and see how lucky I was to have a coach that kind of just gave me the keys and said, drive the car. I mean, he believed in me from day one. And as I've learned pretty quickly, a lot of coaches don't give guys the freedom and instill the confidence that he does. So playing for him would be number one. And then number two is just my teammates, how good of relationships I developed with my teammates and friends at Marshall. I mean, a lot of those guys I still talk to just about every day. So the relationships and the coaching staff are 1A and 1B for sure.
I'm not sure if you know this, but you actually finished your Marshall career just 1 game shy of the all-time Marshall record for most games played in a career. I think only Shaquille Johnson had more, and it was only by 1 game. He had like 134, and you finished with 133. So,
wow.
You know, yeah. So I mean, you definitely played a lot of games, and you know that's a lot of wear and tear on your body. But you know, as a Marshall fan, a Jon Elmore fan, you know, I appreciate everything that you did for the university and everything that the team did for the university, and you know, you guys kind of set the standard for Marshall basketball moving forward.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
John, moving on, beyond your Marshall days, you started to kind of prepare for the NBA draft. I wanted to ask you, which teams did you work out for, and what advice or information were they giving you throughout the process?
So after senior season ended, I finished up and I ended up flying out to LA. I was training in Irvine, California, and had a great trainer out there, Jordan Lawley. Highly recommend him. Look him up on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Great content, great workout dude. So I was really glad I had that experience. I was in LA, and once the workout NBA process started, I had, I think, 8 workouts during the summer, and that was a hectic experience. I was in LA. I'll try to get the workout order right. So I flew from LA to Phoenix, worked out. That night, I flew out of Phoenix. I flew to Miami. I get to Miami at like 11:30 at night, check into my hotel, wake up at 7, work out for the Heat. I fly from Miami to Sacramento after the workout, stay the night, have a workout for the Kings the next day. So, I mean, it's just getting hectic. Talk about exhausted. So I work out in Sacramento. I stay the night. The next morning, I fly to Indianapolis. So I stay in Indianapolis, work out, fly from Indianapolis to Minnesota, Timberwolves, fly to Boston for a workout with the Celtics, and then I fly home. I mean, it was the craziest summer.
Man.
I got a lot of miles on my my frequent flyer miles are booming right now.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Man, that's crazy. Hey, at least you were somewhat prepared for it, you know, playing a Conference USA conference schedule, you know.
Yeah, no, it was similar for sure.
All that travel and stuff, you know, you were used to it, so.
No, it was similar for sure.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. You know, looking back on it, what was your favorite part about that pre-draft process?
I'd say just working out in the different places with the coaching staffs and the front office members. I mean, I was in Indiana. I met Larry Bird. Boston with Brad Stevens was there. Miami Heat, Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra were there. I mean, every one of those coaching staffs and front office guys that you see every day on TV. I mean, it was cool to be in that position. And, I mean, it was something I'd always dreamed of.
For sure. John, just so the listeners, you know, kind of get a better idea of you know, those workout sessions. Did you meet personally with the coaches and stuff? And, you know, were they kind of like giving you advice on what you need to work on to improve your draft stock, or just what are they talking to you about when you go for those workouts?
So most of them are pretty similar. It's usually comprised of 6 guys. Sometimes they'll have like a group in the morning of 6 guys, and then they'll have a group in the evening of 6 guys. So they're getting a lot of guys in and out that are prospects and they've got their eye on. Mm-hmm. So you get there in the morning, you do all kinds of body tests, body fat, weight, strength, vert test, speed test, agility, all kinds of stuff you see at the combine pretty much. And you play 3-on-3, you do shooting drills, you do conditioning tests. I mean, literally, it's just 2-3 hours of just a grind on your body, mentally, physically. I mean, you are playing the hardest you've ever played because, I mean, you're auditioning for millions, a lot of money. We're talking, I mean, millions of dollars are on the line every workout. So, I mean, it's definitely a stressful process, but they're cool. They understand it. They give you a lot of breaks. And then once it's over, you usually go through all the stuff, and then they usually have their front office guys, coaching staff, scouts, etc. They'll sit down with you, whether it's at a team meal after the workout, everybody catches up, or you'll have individual interviews around the conference table. Like when I was in Detroit, I forgot to tell you I worked out in Detroit as well. When I was in Detroit, after the workout, you go in and you're sitting with their head scout, their associate GMs, one of their coaches. I mean, so they're asking you all kinds of questions. Why should we be interested in you? Here's what we saw in the workout. Here's what you need to improve on, etc. So, I mean, the whole process is kind of awesome because, I mean, as a student of the game and a guy that lives for basketball, I mean, you're talking with some of the best basketball minds in the game, picking their brain. They're telling you stuff you can improve on, stuff like that. So it was an awesome experience.
John, moving on to your rookie season, you had the opportunity to play overseas in Italy this past season. Mm-hmm. Just kind of talk about that experience for you, and what was the biggest challenge making the move over there?
So I ended up playing on 2 teams in Italy this year. Starting out of my first spot, I was in Trieste, Italy, which is on the far coast of Italy. It was an interesting rookie season while I was there. I had some great teammates. I mean, some of those guys I'll talk to for the rest of my life, to be honest. That's how just close we got. And several of them were veterans, so they were able to kind of teach me a lot of stuff about professional ball in Europe that I had no clue about. So, I mean, I got lucky getting in a place that I was able to build those relationships off the bat and really pick guys' brains about the process. You know, some of the struggles, my head coach in the first spot didn't speak one word of English.
Wow.
So, I mean, you're coming from a place where you go out to eat at certain restaurants and people have no idea what you're saying. The menu's in Italian. I mean, you have no idea what's going on. The waiter, the waitress doesn't speak English. I mean, they speak Italian. So you're trying to order food. I mean, I'm constantly on Google Translate on my phone, typing in like, all right, what do I want to eat? What is this? I'm scanning the menu on Google Translate to try to get it to English to see what I want.
Man, just tell them spaghetti.
Yeah, dude, I've had so much pasta, lasagna, spaghetti. And pizza. I'm good for a while, but you know, it is different. The whole culture is different, and then the English is probably the biggest thing because you're going where you don't understand anything. You're in the grocery store and people are talking. You have no idea what's going on. They might be talking about you or your mom or your dad or whatever. You have no idea. So
right.
The language barrier is definitely a big thing. But basketball wise, I'd say the physicality of it. They don't call near as many fouls as they do in college or the NBA. You go in the lane, you might get tackled. There's not always you don't count on a foul being called. So you have to make that adjustment for sure. And I think I struggled with that a little bit my rookie season, but I think I got better as it went along. And you know, overall, I'm glad it happened. I wish I could have changed a couple of things, but it was a good experience to have moving forward. I think I'm in a good position.
Yeah, John, that's really interesting that you bring up, you know, the physicality over there and, you know, kind of saying that it's a little bit more physical than what you were used to. Because a lot of times, you know, when you see these guys, I'll use the NBA draft, for example, you kind of think of these like overseas players as, you know, kind of being a little soft. You know, that's kind of been the knock on them, you know, and what, you know, scares some people away from them, I feel like. So, it's kind of cool to see you kind of rebut that and, you know, kind of go against what the perception that, you know, us in the United States have of those overseas players. So that's really good insight from you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
So, John, just tell me how you would rate your rookie season this year and what areas of your game are you really focusing on to improve for next season?
I'd say rookie season was probably a B-. You know, I played some good basketball, but I also played some bad ball. I think part of that was the adjustment and just getting my confidence back, understanding the system, where I could be effective in the certain systems. So I'd say a B-, pretty solid. Once I moved to my second team, I think I handled it a lot better and was in a better position. The coach in my second spot was unbelievable. Kind of similar to Coach D'Antoni in the fact that he gives you the ball, lets you play. And I mean, he tells you all the time he believes in you. So when you have a coach like that, it makes you play better. And I think it definitely helped me. So closing out my rookie year in the second spot was, I think it would help me take a huge jump moving into next year.
That's great, man. That's great that you have a coach that you enjoy playing for over there. And I mean, so how does it work as far as, are you going to be playing for the same team next year, or you know, is there a chance of moving to another team, or how does that work over there?
Things are constantly changing. So the league in Italy just got canceled. What's today? The 8th. It got canceled yesterday on the 7th. So. This year was just officially declared over. My contract expires in my new spot, I believe in June, like June 1st. So most contracts are being terminated. I believe mine is as well. So I'll have another fresh start next year. I might end up back on that team. I have no idea. It'll be up to my agent and the front offices and GMs over there. But I'm excited to see where I end up. I mean, it can end up back in Italy, Greece. I mean, really anywhere over there in Europe. So, it's an exciting process, and I'm definitely looking forward to this off season.
John, I got to ask you, I mean, do you still have aspirations of playing in the NBA? And, you know, so, I mean, what's the ultimate goal for you at this point?
I mean, the goal is to still play in the NBA. I believe that I can be an NBA player. I believe that I'm capable of playing at that level. So I'm going to take whatever steps are necessary to try to get there, whether that's going back to Europe next year, Italy, Greece, whether that's the G League route. So I've had a lot of good conversations with my agent so far. Everything's kind of just hectic right now because the NBA doesn't know if they're going to start back, when they're going to start back. Europe's just now canceling the majority of their leagues. So there's a lot of unforeseeable stuff going on right now.
Right.
And hopefully that'll clear up in the coming months and we'll get a better idea of what the route is to try to pursue that goal of playing in the NBA. I mean, either way, I'm cool. If I end up in the G League, great. I'm going to try to prove myself and make it to the NBA. But if I end up back overseas, I want to try to play, win, put up good numbers, and hopefully showcase my talent and get back to the NBA one day.
All right. I want to ask you some personal questions. The first one being is, I've met you, several times, and I wanted to ask you if you still had the Prius.
I still have my Prius. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I went overseas, my sister started driving it because she didn't have a car, and my parents just kind of let her use it. So I'm in a constant battle with her to use the Prius, and but it's still mine. I'm still claiming the Prius. That's my baby.
What kind of gas mileage you get?
I think it's 37 miles a gallon.
Oh my gosh,
and with this new gas prices that we have right now, I mean, it's like $14 to fill up the tank. So not a bad gig.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. When are you going to cash in and get something else?
I want to buy a new car, but if I end up overseas, I mean, I'd be paying a car payment for
nothing
9 months out of the year where I'm not even in the States, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully I'm going to drive the Prius till the wheels fall off. And no, that's my baby. So I'm going to stick with her for as long as possible.
Hey, I hear you, man. John, I kind of already somewhat congratulated you on a fantastic college career and everything, but your biggest accomplishment has yet to arrive, and that's the news of you finding out that you're going to become a father. So how excited or nervous are you, at this point?
I'm ecstatic, man. Having a little baby girl named Ari Elmore with Tori. So
man, congrats, man. I'm happy for you. I have a little girl of my own. I'm sure you've seen pictures and stuff like that, but she's 2, and she's my world. So you're gonna love not only being a dad, but being a girl dad. So
yeah, I can't wait, man. We're excited. It's kind of crazy because we had our wedding scheduled for August the 9th or August the 8th. Tori would kill me. I forgot, my bad. And so we have our wedding set for August the 8th. I'm playing a game in Rome. Tori goes with me to Rome. She was touring Rome with some of her friends, and she goes and buys her wedding dress. So like she's getting all prepped for the wedding. Like we're really excited. And 3 weeks later, we're back at my house in my apartment in Italy. She finds out she's pregnant out of nowhere. I mean, we were really excited, but I mean, it was just shocking. And so now we have a wedding dress. The wedding's coming up in August. She's going to be 9 months pregnant.
Wow.
So we're like, all right, we're going to reschedule the wedding till next summer. So, I mean, it's just crazy. You can't plan for stuff sometimes, but we're really excited. I'm going to be a hashtag girl dad, like you said.
For sure.
I can't wait.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you and happy for Tori, and I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thank you.
All right, John, before I let you go, I'm just going to kind of give you a couple rapid-fire questions, and I just want you to kind of give me the first word or thing that comes to your mind, all right?
Okay. Hold on, let me prepare. Let me think of some things. All right, I'm ready.
All right, ready? All right, Marshall.
Marshall basketball, NCAA tournament, Conference USA champions. The program is on the rise, and I can't wait to see it keep climbing.
Fatherhood.
Hashtag girl dad. That's my go-to there. Hashtag girl dad.
Basketball.
My family, my dad playing, my grandfather playing, my brother playing, my mom always being at every game, my sisters being at every game, Tori being at every game. So basketball just kind of runs in the family for me.
All right, last one, family.
Basketball. No, I'm just kidding. Just how close my family is. Everybody genuinely wants to see each other succeed. My brother's going to law school. My sister's a junior at Virginia Tech. My other sister's gets good grades, even though she sleeps all the time. I don't know how she does it, so she must be smarter than we tell her she is. But and my mom and dad are just the greatest parents in the world, and they've set a great example for all their kids. So I'm really lucky to have the family that I do.
For sure. You know, I can tell that you're a family-oriented guy. You come from a great family. I've got to meet your dad a couple times, and I know that you're going to make a great dad. Tori's going to make a great mom. So, like I said before, wish you guys the best, and take care of that baby girl when she gets here.
For sure, man, for sure. And I really appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. John, thanks for joining me. That was former Marshall basketball guard Jon Elmore joining me here on Section 111. I'd like to thank John for taking the time out and come on the show. In this episode, I hope that you guys learned something. I hope that you gained some new perspective. And most importantly, I hope you all were entertained. But thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Section 111 podcast.